Look at that stack of records.
Pick a record. Tell us about that.
Holy cow. And this is, I've made over 100 records now, and that frightens me.
Really?
Dixie Chicks, I mixed one song on this. But we're not going to play that. Katie Curtis is the artist that I first met with George. She's great. I love this record. We made this for cheap, up in a hot little hole in Boston with no air conditioning. This is a great record. Katie Curtis. Patty Scalfa, the boss's wife. We all know who the boss is. Well, this is his wife. Anyway, I recorded her record. That might give me a stomach ache, so we're going to skip that. This is something we're going to listen to. This is Grayson Capps, and he's a tremendous artist. He's in this room right now. He's over there. He didn't want me to bring it up. I made him come with me because I was nervous and I didn't know what was going to happen tonight. Grayson's record we made here in New Orleans, inexpensive. The point is that this record here cost almost this is Sheryl Crow, Come On, Come On. This cost almost $2 million and took over a year. This cost not almost $2 million and took a few weeks. They're equally great sounding records. And so you don't need to spend, like Patty Scalfa's record cost $650,000 and took 6 years. I was only involved for the last 2 years. This record sounds better than this record. This Katie Curtis's record, which cost probably $18,000, sounds way better than Patty's record. I'm not saying Patty's record's not great, but we're talking about almost $750,000 to make a record that doesn't sound too much different than this record. I recorded them both. Curious. Grayson's record's great. Grayson's music, a lot of the stuff on this is going to be in the new Bobby Long film that stars John Travolta and Scarlett Johansson. That's coming out real soon. Anyway, we did all that recording here in New Orleans and all the playback. He's got 7 songs in that film. So this is a cool record. This is the first thing I ever recorded and sang backing vocals on. And believe me, I was not out there like, hey, I'm an assistant, but I'm also a singer, check me out. I was like singing along to it secretly while I was doing some rough mixes for Malcolm, who played a lot on this, but he was the producer and the real engineer, the proper engineer. I was the second. And Howe snuck up behind me, this guy, the singer, and I had been singing this little harmony along with this song. He's like, I love that. I was like, well, that's just a little harmony. He's like, grab a mic. And I was like, I can't do that. Malcolm will be mad. He's like, this is my record. I want you to sing on this song. I was like, yeah, but I'm not a singer, so Lisa Germano's coming in, and she's going to sing on this record, and she can do that part. He's like, nope, you. And I was like, how? I can't do it. I will get shit if I sing on this record. Malcolm will be mad. He's like, this is my record. This is me. I am Giant Sand. I heard you. I've never sung before on a microphone. I'm too scared. I can't do it. And he forced me at about 4 o'clock in the morning to sing backing vocals, which I now do and love, and I do often. First time, forced by the artist to sing on the record, terrified. Queens of the Stone Age. This record gets me a lot of work. I don't know why. No Pro Tools. Cut to 2 Studers with 16-track head stacks, strapped together. Nightmare. There it is. Jimmy Ryan did it for free. He rocks. Something for Kate, produced, recorded, and mixed. They were a nobody band signed to Sony, and we were joking around on the first record I did with them that Sony was going to find out that they were accidentally signed and pull the plug on the recording. First record we turned in, Sony, in all their wisdom, said they hated it and they weren't going to release it, blamed me as the producer, said that it was a subpar recording, that it sounded like shit. The president of Sony Australia hated it. Meantime, Rolling Stone in Australia had been coming by the studio and hanging out with us a whole lot, and they loved the record. This whole buzz started. Rolling Stone started talking about how great the new Something for Kate record was, and then when they're like, but Sony said they're not releasing it, Sony reluctantly released it. It debuted at #1, went platinum in 2 weeks, and was a huge success. And we stuck to our guns. We made the record we wanted to make. Again, we were told to our faces that they hated what we made, that I was told that I wasted their entire budget and should be held responsible for that. I'm being told this, over the phone while I'm back in America driving to do Katie Curtis's record. crying, thinking, oh my God, I've ruined this band's career. How is this my fault? I don't understand. We just did what they wanted to do. Anyway, so then this record came along after the fact, and Sony gave us all the money we wanted in the world and never ever interfered with us once. So sometimes record companies' wisdom is wrong. Make the record that you need to make so that you can live with it later. If you bend and make the record they want you to make and it fails, then you hate your record and you failed. If you make the record you wanted to make and it fails, but you love the record, then you can still say the record company's an idiot, I love my record. And if you make the record you want to make and it does well, everybody's happy. But that's a good example of that. Sheryl Crow, best of course, bunch of stuff on there. And, you know, she was a big break for me, but she was not my first break. And then that's all. I just grabbed a stack. So you guys want to hear something? Is that what happens now?
Just play one tune. We got to let our crew go pretty soon. But
all right. What do you want to hear? Want to hear something shocking that I think sounds terrible that everybody else loves? Okay, Queens of the Stone Age. It actually makes me feel sick to listen to this. Let's listen to an evil drug song. Song number 1. It's truly one of the worst sounding recordings I've ever made, and people love it. I still get calls, love that Queens record, man, they rock, you rock. How'd you think the guitar sounds? I'm thinking, I don't know how I got those guitar sounds because I was pretending like I wasn't there. They did bad things like mean things to me. All in fun, but this can sound like anything in here too, see? Rule number 2, know where you are listening when you listen. Otherwise you might get very frightened of what you just recorded or mixed and think how terrible it sounds, but then play a bunch of other stuff first. So if it's going to sound terrible, everybody sounded terrible, and then you now know, oh, I'm in a terrible sounding room. So it will all sound terrible. If everybody else sounded great and you sound terrible, you can safely know that something's wrong with the recording. I'm going to start it over again. Well, there you have it. Thank you. Very silly. It's the wrong message. Rob Halford from Judas Priest sings on this. That was exciting. Okay, stop that one. Now, we'll play, so there's that, and people love that, believe it or not. And you play song number 1 on that, and this is something that's a lot more up my alley. I was like a lamb on that. I said, Josh, you know, some youngster, some 13 or 14-year-old's going to do nicotine, Valium, Vicodin, marijuana, ecstasy, and alcohol, and then top it off with cocaine and die. And is that what you want to have happen? I don't care, man, as long as you bought my record. That message, I was, first song. And this is real pretty. This is about New Orleans. This is interesting for me, because it's like, cool. It's my friend Dave Ketchum. He got me the gig for this record.
Yesterday was a very fine.
It's an upright bass with a mic on it and a cab.
Outside and brushed my teeth. Put on dirty clothes and go back to work.
That's beautiful. We'll play one more little piece of
Put the
something.
money away at the rich man's store.
You notice how kick drum, snare, bass. The rest of it's a bunch of hoo-ha.
I live on a
Vocals.
place they call South.
Keep the backbeat loud. If you lose the backbeat, it sounds like a demo. Okay, let's hear one more little song. And this is a song, this is a girl. And I'm not playing Sheryl Crow, because y'all have heard Sheryl plenty. And if you want to hear Sheryl Crow, go buy the record. It'll benefit me. We can play song number 1. And this is a real nice song, too. But even in the Queens, too, notice the backbeat was very, very loud. The vocal was loud, the backbeat was loud, the kick was loud, and the snare was loud. Now this is a whole different kind of drums, but you're never going to lose that backbeat anyway. Plenty of bass. Use lots of bass in your mixes. You can always take it out later, can't add it. And the voice. And if you can't hear the singer, nobody likes your mixes. The voice has to have this kind of like otherworldly quality. It has to sit on top of everything and be the commanding force, like the head of Oz when he is floating in that room. And it's fake because really it was a little man, but it seemed so real. It's all live. There's no. It's a take. This is that bass. That's cool. Okay. Anyway, that's some stuff that I did. I mixed all of that stuff too, so produced it too.
In doing your production and engineering, you're doing it at the same time. I know sometimes producers and engineers like to hear the stuff before the session actually starts.
Right.
Are you working like that?
Oh yeah. I mean, do you mean hear like demos before it starts, or
Yeah.
come in?
Some people like to record going in, but
No, I mean I'll take it any way I can get it, but I would much prefer to hear the music first, to hear things that the producer likes, to hear things that the artist likes,
Yeah.
to hear previous works by said producer and or artist, to know what the expectations are of me. It's fun to kind of just show up sometimes, but I would rather know from the artist, what do you listen to that you think sounds great? Who do you imagine yourself to be in other words, when you put this on at home, who are you going to sandwich yourself between? Who is my competition? And same with the producer. Who do you love? And I will mimic their sounds. I'll be like, you love that band? Cool. Let me get their CD and I'll go study how they sound so I can make you. You're never going to sound just like them. It's not like copying somebody. It's like, I want you to put on, if it's the, new Coldplay that you listen to, and then you see yourself here, and then you're listening to whoever I don't know nothing about Coldplay, but the artist does, so I better make Coldplay my business, because I'm going to get compared to them whether I'm doing the comparing or not, and I'd rather be the first to compare, to say, oh, they have a real thin, bright little pingy snare drum with lots of reverb. Cool, I'll do that in the studio. And then the artist is usually like, man, I love the snare. You rule. Because that's what they're listening to. So, yeah, I'm a copycat. I'm just a really good copycat. And I will shamelessly copy people in the studio and steal their ideas, too. That's what it's all about. I didn't make any of this up.
Well, we're going to have to let Trina go, and so thanks a lot for Trina.
Bye,